And so speaking largely about the ABC, this year being an election year, what are some of the challenges that you have to face?
Well, look, I don't think they're that new, quite frankly. I mean, our charter and our editorial policies talk about us being fair, balanced and impartial. And that's what we are required to do, and that's what we will do. We have good policies and good guidelines that help our journalists work their way through that. I'm quite looking forward to the election campaign. The last election campaign, 2010, would just launch the 24-hour news channel. And look, there was no off-Broadway for News 24. You know, when Sky launched, the people at Sky said to me when they launched a decade or more ago, no one really knew they were there. When we launched News 24 in the middle of an election campaign, everybody knew we were there, and they did a great job. We are so pleased with how News 24 has grown. It clearly is Australia's leading news channel. We have 3.5 million viewers a week in a big news week. Audiences flood in. We have well over 4 million who watch News 24. Strong team, strong leadership, and really helping to strengthen our news brand. So election campaign's a big event for the year. It's a budget year for us. We get funded every 3 years, so we have a budget submission in now that we're talking about with the government. We appreciate that the funding environment is tough, but we do think the evidence is there are some things in this environment that only the ABC can do, or the ABC is best positioned to do. And as commercial media comes under more and more pressure, if we want there to be things like quality Australian drama, if we want there to be things like quality independent news, if we want a strong network of local news and local radio across the country, well, the ABC is in a great position to deliver those things. We don't want to be the only people delivering them, but the ABC should be strongly funded to deliver them, and they're the arguments we'll be making in Canberra.
You spoke a bit about News 24 then. In terms of how things have changed since that launch, news gathering wise, I understand from speaking to some people at the ABC that you're doing a bit of a review at the moment of your news gathering processes.
Yeah, Kate Tawney and the team have been doing some significant work. I think people underestimate just what a change News 24 meant to the way we do television news. Nearly all our television was based around the 7 o'clock bulletin. So a news event happened at 11 o'clock in the morning. You know, we had 8 hours to get it right for the 7 o'clock bulletin. And everything was kind of crafted and tapered for that one moment. Well, now, of course, our audience has an expectation. They're not going to wait till 7 o'clock. They want the very best, very latest up until the minute. And so I think what that news gathering project is really saying is that we have responsibilities to our audiences that run through the day. And we have responsibilities to get information to them on radio and television, online and mobile, and we need to be organised and structured in a way to do that. That's not to say that 7 o'clock still won't be the landmark bulletin. It will be. It won't be that. It's not to say there won't be things on 7 o'clock that aren't very special to that. We will still make it very distinctive, but we need to be able to service our audiences through the day because the audiences aren't waiting.
Given the demand that it's no doubt placed on all of your resources, having a 24-hour news channel, is that sort of putting the pinch on any other areas, and particularly in a year that you sort of launched not only ABC News 24 but a kids channel as well? Yeah,
I think that's a good question. The kids channel we were funded for, and so really that was quite discreet. But what we did about News 24 is we did this big overhaul of how we make television. Significant savings, tough decisions. We brought in new technology. Yes, there were redundancies, but that all added up to money that we then invested in News 24. So we made the savings to invest in News 24. Now, I think it's fair to say that, you know, it's a demanding beast, News 24. Audience expectations are higher. Audiences want us to be live and want us to be everywhere, and so we continue to look for how we can fund and things we can do there. But I think people also misunderstand that part of what we've used for News 24 is that infrastructure of staff that we have around the country and around the world.
And how is the battle going against Sky News?
Oh, look, I think some of that was all a bit overinflated early on. I'm a great fan of Angelo. I think he's done a fantastic job at Sky News. I know numbers of the people there well. I think they do a very impressive job. But I think they're different. And I think you know, they've come to recognise, we've come to recognise that they are different. They have a very strong Canberra focus, well, so do we, but that's where a lot of their focus is. I think what we do though is we have reporters around the country. We have those 8 big capital city newsrooms. We have 60 local radio stations. We have international bureaus. So we can really pull in our people and access them to tell our stories. And look, I think we appreciate we're on free-to-air television. They're not on free-to-air television. We have a significantly bigger audience, but we have a significantly bigger capacity for a bigger audience. So we're quite different. And is there room for both of us? Yes, there is. And we've done very well with our audience, but I think Sky remains a strong product for those who want to watch Sky.